This is it. The biggest update ever made to Prydwen tier list history. Because for the first time ever, I have been told that the tier list will now include signature icons. Alright, so let's take a look into our updates for the Prydwen tier list, especially with the inclusion of Evernight in the meta as well. Apparently, this has been like the biggest change ever on Prydwen. Ever. So without further ado, first things first, the criteria got a little bit of an update. Manual play, right? Using Ultimo teams. I bet 50% of y'all that watch content like this, you don't even do this. So why do you even care? You know? Like, why even? Okay, anyways, level 80 best in slot or S1, right? Or S1, right? 5-star upgraded gear with 24 out of 54 subsets, which is honestly very relatable. E0 for 5 stars, E6 for 4 stars, okay. These things I think is gonna be fine, blah. Not too much of a change. Alright, this thing. We aren't looking at a 0 cycle potential, which is why this tier list is completely irrelevant for the elitists, right? If you're looking for a 0 cycle tier list, honestly, your answer is fine on or fine on. Bada boom, bada bing, bada bang. We consider flexibility of how the characters function against various enemy types. Investment, right? Invest in Twitch or T4 MrPokke. Utility. Recently released possess abilities that lie beyond their defined roles. Oh my god. So I'll take a look at Changelog after I see the tier list itself. So without further ado, MOC. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, so Tip went back to being an amplifier. She is no longer a support DPS. She is now an amplifier. Still triple tier 0, by the way. Whereas for our teammates over here, it's gonna be Anexa, Archer, Asterisk, Hysolence, Evernight coming in at a tier 1 main DPS and tier 0.5 sub DPS. And Mr. Finon Castellana himself, 6 tier 0 DPS, 3 men, 3 women. And then for our support DPS, it's basically literally just Kafka and Evernight. Ceredra is still sort of just chilling up in there, very nice. And the only sustain in tier 0 being the E0 S1 Hyacinth, right? I'm assuming everyone here is now officially E0 S1. There's no such thing as E0 S1. Everybody here is E0 S1, right? So very shiftable in the tier 0. So let me zoom out a little bit more. There we go. Holy Agalea, Maide, Saber, D Herda, guys. Oh my god, D Herda is now tier 0.5 in MOC and Apocalyptic Shadows at E0 S1. How about Saber? Oh my lord. Bro, this is the paid unit, by the way. This is the paid unit. That is absolutely crazy. Maide, a little bit rough over here. Anexa sub DPS at a triple tier 0.5. Which is honestly just crazy because the only reason why he's at tier 0.5 is because bro's actual main DPS as a sub DPS is not pulling her weight, right? So it is what it is. Black Swan, I have seen a couple of data points where people are literally just benching Black Swan to run like a Bubbin, a Runmate, a Cypher, right? Whatever else that it needs to be for DOT without Black Swan. So it could be quite interesting. Bronya Meow Bubbin has fallen. Oh my god. Wait, is this the first time ever, right? Yeah, I think this is the first time ever that Bubbin has fallen out of 0-0-0. I think she has always been 000 ever since she was alive. Like, she used to be here, then T was here. Oh my god, guys. E0S1 Bobbin is completely cooked. Bro is more cooked than a random ass Gaki. And a free unit. Alongside with a goddamn Bronya. Also, let's just be so for real. Nobody's using E0 Bronya, okay? Please stop torturing yourself. So it is what it's gonna be. Cypher E0 S1 and a triple tier 0.5. Honestly, I think Cypher's really strong. So that's just me. Run me. Okay, wait, why? Okay, just be realistic a little bit, right? Run me? If you are able to use units like with Casteris or Finon, you will probably just never use Run me. Like for Finon, Saridra, Sunday, RMC. None of the above, Bronya, Sparkle, Tingren. Like, it really is like the absolute last choice. If you want to use Ranmei, use Ranmei. If you use Ranmei with Casteris, is like, I guess you could. But we just got Evernight, which like further just kicks her out of the Casteris position. I guess you can run Ranmei with D Herda. But D Herda is like, you know, her own place is questionable. She's definitely usable with DOT though. Ranmei is still pretty okay with DOT.
You know what? Considering that she's a free unit, I'm actually okay. Yep, I'm okay with Ranmei being a tier 0 member because she literally is a free unit. Like, so everybody can just get her for free tonight, right? Compared to all these other units here, because she is literally free, I'm actually okay. Right? I'm actually completely fine, right? Hell down, hell down.
So, okay, Sparkle, I'm a be for real. The only reason why she's here is just because of Archer, right? Everyone else, I don't really think you care that much anymore. Okay, maybe Finon to a certain extent, but we just got Saridra, and Saridra, Sunday, RMC, just so goddamn strong. You could take out RMC for either Babin, Rami, or whatever. Like, you wouldn't run 3 action ready advances against Sunday. So the really only plays you're gonna be running is Sparkle with Archer. So, and then what to do? And then, okay, let's just be so for real, guys, alright? Let's just be so for real right now. Who the f is using Lingsha, guys? Let's just be so for real. You ain't got no skill points. You ain't got no AoE. You ain't got no emergency heal except for the one buddy that heals you for like 1/4 of HP and then just get one shot by the judgment will be on. But like, nobody is using Lingsha, bro. Same. Okay, Gallagher, honestly, to a certain extent, yes. Gallagher is like really not doing too crazy as well. But to be considered, Gallagher is a free unit. Gallagher is a free unit, right? As a free unit, you have the comparative value, right? Bro, it's literally in the tier list. It's literally in the tier list, guys. Investment. Investment. If you are gonna be using a free unit, what is there to complain? Is that you go to a buffet for $5.99? Are you gonna complain that you don't have enough to eat? Just eat more. Just eat more, you get what I'm saying? So, bro, I feel like if you're gonna be talking about this, we're gonna be a little bit more strict up in there. Unless you run Lingsha as a Lingsha main DPS. Then I'm okay. I'll shut the fuck up, right? Lingsha main DPS, HMC, Fuke, Ranmei, bada boom, bada bing, bada bang, slam her in, and then she might be also one reason why she's like basically more tiers ahead of the other main DPS. So that's gonna be that. Okay, with all love and respect, Hui. I swear, every single patch for Memory of Kill. I'm not saying Hui is bad, by the way. I'm not saying Hui is bad, because let's just be real, this is E0S1 Hui. And your streamer, being a broke ass that he is, actually only has an E0S0 Hui. So maybe I just never knew how strong the S1 was. At least to my knowledge, back in those days, it was like basically irrelevant. But Hui's sustained capabilities, I have never seen so much questionable decisions made by this little shit over here, right? It's like the skill point consumption, and we're not talking E1 Hui, by the way. This is not a E1 Hui where you can cast your skill once every 3 turns, right? This is a E0 Hui. So let's just be so for it, right? With as much love as I can give from a support, right? Okay, if you want to use Hui as an amplifier, okay, fuck it. You can park Hui as a tier 0.5 amplifier because it gives you energy regeneration as well as the attack percentage buff, right? But from a sustained perspective, holy shit, bro. Yikes. Yikes, right? So that's just gonna be my 2 cents. I do wanna say, Mr. Evernight, I just did up this video yesterday where does honkaistarrail have a sustained potential? Bro, Mr. Evernight is cooking. He cooks like ridiculously hard against Ligers. Like really, really well. And guess what? He's gonna cook again against Judge of Oblivion. Because you're gonna be using shielders, which is gonna be the DHPT patch. And it just so happens that DHPT being a physical preservation, his counterpart that is the imaginary preservation of Evernight, both of them are strong against Judge of Oblivion. So I can see a future, right? I can see a dream where version 4 is when they pivot back into preservation, either with more shields or damage reduction, and abundance sustains as a whole might start to fall off. So I'll give it like maybe like within 6 months, I'll probably see bro, okay, maybe not bro, but the shielders in general can start rising up, right? So that's gonna be that. Other than that, I kind of want to see who died. Okay, so I guess at this point is like low-key the graveyard. So this is Ezreal S1 Akron. Holy shit, that looks ugly as fuck. Bro, check, can you imagine on Akron's launch day, you show people back then what she's gonna be 1 year later? Oh my god, I think people would legit lose their minds, bro. It's actually crazy. It's actually crazy, bro. I swear, and I don't mean any disrespect to Akron, Blade's performance is crazy good because he can make use of Hyacinth Teep so. Like I swear, Blade is legitimately at this point, I think he's better than Akron. I really think Blade's better than Akron, right? Jingliu, to a certain extent, kind of, but Blade has like way more flower attacks and interaction with mechanics. So if I could, I would put Blade up in tier 0.5. My YH needs to be tier 0, so no introductions, right? We have seen the E0, S0, 0 cycling Ligers. Bro literally one cycled with her eyes closed, right? This is tier 0. I don't give a fuck what you say. Yunli over here is gonna be a little bit unfortunate. Okay, but Yunli was also cooking though, chat. Do you guys remember? We did like a Yunli clear on Ligers like yesterday. Wait, bro was like cooking super hard because we had like infinite energy, infinite mana, infinite counters, infinite everything. And she got like quite a decent chunk of it. I believe it was like a 3-cycle dispatch with a sustain. So all things considered, I think Yunli is pretty okay. It's just the Akron, she needs a buff, right? She needs a buff as in the form of even better sustain, better nihility, better kit, better damage. Oh my god, alright. By the time this video goes, I'm not sure if the anomaly arbitration video is up, but if you guys see the plight, the king of plight, the difficult move for anomaly arbitration, right? 43 million HP was in a single screenshot. Like your single screenshot in that mode with full E6 S5 was 43 million HP. The current normal anomaly arbitration is 43 million HP. Like the actual boss itself, not counting the mobs, right? So at some point, no matter how many buffs, how many like mechanics, how many supports you give them, if a DPS multiplier are just gonna be not able to compete, then it's just kind of 881 AM, right? I believe nowadays we're getting like 1000% multipliers like nobody's business. Highest has a 1000% multiplier. Saber has a 1000% multiplier. Excalibur, right? Final has a 1000% multiplier every other day. Cass is just being castrous, and the entire team just deals 1 billion damage. So at some point, you're gonna be like, okay, you know what? Multipliers, yep, we're gonna shape it up, right? So we already seen Dawei buffing the first 4 units. I'm looking forward to the day when they buff units like Akron. Oh my god, wait, no. Wait. Even before Akron. To be fair, to be completely fair, guys. To be completely fair, who are you to use E0 Firefly and complain? To be completely fair, right? Those players that are still using Firefly, at least comfortably, they are probably on E2. right? They're probably on E2. If you're still running E0 Firefly and you're complaining, have you tried? Have you tried getting a job? Employers. Okay, other than that, we do see the same as a rap over here, which, I mean, at the end of the day, break art type is just, you know, not really cooking. I feel like Judge of Oblivion can see some potential. It's just that the one-shot move is like super powerful, which is definitely gonna be one-shotting your Rame or like even your Lingsha. So just take that with a pinch of salt. But other than that, you know, Firefly, Reba, I know for right, I love Firefly. I love my Firefly Pentacoding girlfriend. Right? So it's like the more I make fun of my girl, the more I love her, right? It's like banter, right? So I can say all these things, but you guys know for a fact deep down, I love Firefly, all right? That's why I can say all these kind of things. That's why she's E6. So, or rather E2, because E2 is the same, right? So I gotta say all these things because I love Firefly. So eventually, I do want to see if Braid Team can make an eventual comeback, which really thankfully Loki kind of did, because normally Arbitration was a Braid Team focus for Team 1. Maybe in the future they can cook a little bit more going forward in the future, right? I don't know what's Bro doing. Just kill him, right? In game, right? He's done, right? Fuke. Damn. Yep. Okay, Fu Xuan should go up though. I really like Fu Xuan sustain. I don't know why Prydwen hates Fu Xuan so much. I personally feel like she's super comfy. But you know, that's just me. I feel like she can go up. Luocha actually proved himself to be quite decent against Ligers as well, especially when I ran up against the I forgot it was a Mighty Changelog or Blade, but whatever it's gonna be, it's gonna be. Silver Wolf actually. Damn, after the okay, chat. I feel like the rework honestly made her a lot better. It's just that people don't really know where to use her. Not how to use, but like where do you use Silver Wolf? Like, who are you replacing Silver Wolf for in a Final or a Castris or any of the version 3 teams? And then if you are gonna be using her for a version 2 team, version 2 teams are just not as strong as version 3, and that's just like they gotta right? So it's a little bit of a rough spot. Cause none of the version 3s like really can make fools of a kid. And she's really just like a way to bring up them version 2s. Or unless if you're really completely off element, you can just use it as like a niche pick, just to make you on element again, right? Especially for Apocalyptic Shadow, which is why I can see why Apocalyptic Shadow is at tier 0.5, so I think that's understandable. So yeah, it kind of turns out, I feel like at the end of the day, DPS and supports, they're all kind of like the same coin. Right, they're all like the same size of the coin, kind of thing, right? Like, no matter how strong this DPS is, if you are held back by support, then your DPS is not going to be as strong. But like, no matter how strong your support is, if you have no good DPS to pair the support with, then you're just not even going to shine anyways. So, kind of a similar, interesting topic, right? Let me know what you guys in the comments do. I think this is a pretty interesting topic. Jiao Qiu, and why? I can't even remember. Okay, Tobes, I swear, she's going on tier 1.5. But I mean this with my soul, bro. This unit is really not it. And even at E0, I think this is really not it, right? She has no home, she has no purpose. Nami's directing AI is absolutely dog shit. I'm not spending any additional skill points, and if I do spend skill points, she deals absolutely zero damage. She needs a buff, right? More multipliers, more damage numbers, more debuffs, more buffs, whatever it's gonna be, she needs more, right? At this point, she's basically just not worth it, right? So that's just gonna be that. Then Mr. Blado, I think we already talked about it, so that is pretty much done. Damn, HMC really just disappeared off the face of the earth. Yep. And then what are that? Budeo and Jingyuan. I think all this. Oh. You know, sometimes back in my days, bro. Back in my days. E1 Evernight. Alright, back in my days. Oh my god, bro. Yeah, that is gonna be our Memory of Chaos tier list update. I think, you know what? For a 1.0 unit Jingyuan, honestly, you know, he's chilling, right? He's like an old man, just chilling on his front yard, just like, oh my god, this gosh darn new DPS kid, just complaining about it. But I feel like he's led a very fruitful life, right? Unless they bring bro out of retirement house by some buffs or whatever, I think he has done pretty good. I feel like even Scylla to a certain extent is kind of okay. But then again, this is not a zero. Okay, even if this was a zero cycle tier, I feel like Scylla zero cycles nowadays are like, oh my god, like who is she one-shotting with resurgence, bro? Bro can't even kill a fish. She literally cannot kill a fish. So like, it is gonna be kind of rough. And I feel like that's just sort of the problem with Scylla's fundamental kit. She only really has a good kit if you can proc resurgence. And resurgence is a mechanic that is like, it's so beautiful in design, but like if the HP is just that high, what are you gonna do? You know? I guess if they would ever buff Scylla, you can make her like she just deal true damage. Just straight up, just give her true damage, more damage multipliers, and then if you proc resurgence, proc twice. 2 separate resurgences instead of once, right? Then I think that would be pretty interesting. But you know, it is what it do. So that is gonna be our MOC tier list for pure fiction. Wow. Yeah, okay, pure fiction. I think Evernight is definitely popping off, but definitely not just because of Evernight. These two are just that strong, right? So, it does look like the men are not doing too good in the pure fiction. Like pure fiction is a kingdom of women's. Okay, minus Kalis, but it is all women's over here that employ yourselves. Aggron, Saber actually being the same thing as Aggron and Blaze, kind of diabolical. Not gonna lie. Mighty chilling at tier 1. I feel like fine on getting up the Savija definitely fixes pure vision problem a little bit more. All these others. Oh, Bobbin fell off in pure. Okay, to be fair, I think Bobbin is still pretty good in PF, because PF you can hit a lot. And it kind of helps you deal with the issues of energy generation quite often, especially if you don't even have an E2 Bobbin. But because the prevalence, right? The prevalence of how strong Teep and High Scene is, it is also understandable why Bobbin is not the same tier, right? She is not the same tier, but she's still really decent. So yep. Like, it's not that she's weak. It's just that Gojo is too strong. So it is what these two are like the Gojo of the universe. So that's gonna be that. These three being the same tier, I don't really need to care about it. I think Lingsha might still cook a little bit more with D-Herda, so that's gonna be that. All these are kind of okay. Aglaya in the same tier as main DPS Argenti is crazy, by the way. That is legitimately crazy. So we have Rabba Jingyuan here. Okay. Ooh. Wait. I actually treat this as like a compliment. Wait, my wife, a single target burst DPS facial, is the same tier as the destruction targeting 5. And you know what's crazy? I literally think that facial is better than Firefly in pure vision. Yep. Facial is better than Firefly in pure vision. Why? Because if this bitch wants to do any damage against any anti-weakness, you are done. You're literally done. You're just never gonna do anything, right? You might as well just run Lingsha main DPS. I legitimately think Firefly's pure vision performance can just be the same tier as Budio. Fuck it, I don't give a fuck, right? Okay, maybe Budio's a bit harsh. Okay, same tier as Archer and Scylla, right? Yeah, same tier as Archer and Scylla. Yo, Prydwen, make it happen. Any case, all this kind of stuff, I don't think it matters anymore. Let's go on over to our Apocalyptic Shadows. Okay. Damn, everybody is still tier 0 in Apocalyptic Shadows, huh? I guess Bobbin with the action very advanced and a lot of energy regeneration is honestly very good. Okay. Face out, I feel like she should be way... Okay, to be fair, maybe not as close as this. But yeah, these are super nice. Oh my god, Caesar King song is crazy, yeah. Aglaya, Saber. I think Saber is honestly very strong in Apocalyptic as well. But yeah, Archer being a free unit is just so diabolical. It kind of just pushes everyone back down a little bit more. All these other units kind of just chilling, right? I'm looking forward to the brand new Apocalyptic Shadows update when they eventually announce it. But let's just finally take a look at the criteria or rather changelog update. Holy. Evernight to the tier list, moving Teep to Amplifier, and overhauling to better convey the state of meta. Due to the scope, there will not be an update entry for each character. The biggest change we're making is swap from no S signature to those that are including. Previous characters were assessed with standard S1 5-star, blah 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 blah. Nowadays, characters are designed with their signature icon as a core component, with the expectation they are played with it equipped. Ooh, this is especially true for DPS with having many no or incredibly limited alternatives. Oh my god. HSR is ruined. Light cones ruined HSR. HSR ruined the light cones. We receive feedback and players evaluate Predator's power level. Yep, me by the way. Alright, so that's gonna be that difficulty continues to increase, favoring vertical investment compared to horizontal. Many players are moving firmly towards selling their favorite characters and investing heavily into them longer compared to... Nobody plays this anymore, by the way. If you play this, you are in the minority. Employ yourselves, right? With all that being said, we're not making this change, buddy. We first invested in a couple blah 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 blah. Okay, you know what? Don't even just rip out the band-aid. Do it. Right? You've done it. Don't need to beat around the bush. Tierlist is gonna be with S1. It is what it is, right? So ultimately, our final decision is to full swap into signatures. And there it is, right? Send it our way. Yo, chat, destroy Prydwen. Destroy Prydwen. As you can see, we've moved here from support damage to amplifier. Colossal usage has gate kept. Oh my god, Tribby has gate kept other oh my god. So you're telling me Tribby is so strong as a sub DPS? Y'all had to physically remove her from the sub DPS because no one else is as strong as her as a sub DPS. That is diabolical, bro. This is truly a unit of our time. This is legitimately truly a unit of our time. Absolutely insane. So that's gonna be that. Move on to March 7th, Evernight. Based on our testing, she performs exceptionally well main DPS sub DPS, stealing Caster's team on acting as an upgrade. Ran at tier 0 due to overhaul of Apocalyptic Shadows being a worse mode. It's just the current mode, right? With the next A-Box, is gonna bubble once, it's gonna be fine. Special mention for DOT in A-Box with the shielding of the free. We are maintaining the high incidence as a core in tier 1.5 for now. I give her like probably 3 months. She's not gonna be DS anymore. Because I feel like they're not gonna give a damn about DOT, and then version 4 is gonna come around, so it is what it is, right? So with that, we have come to the end of the biggest tier list update in Prydwen history, right? I feel like me personally, at least between all 3 endgame, I mainly only care about Memory of Chaos, right? This mode is like my bread and butter, right? As a your streamer fighting like Memory of Chaos. Okay, but a normally arbitration might be my brand new bread and butter, so we'll see about that. Bonus segment. So it does appear it is a massive day for the unemployed. A massive day for the unemployed. So the Prydwen tier list for Evernight is gonna be as shown over here. Best girl is finally here. Sorry for the late pin. Blah 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 blah. Please be respectful here. And this is gonna be the reasoning. It looks to be a very, very peaceful day. I mean, this looks pretty peaceful, guys. Oh, this was pretty peaceful, right? Capital B busted. Oh my god, capital B. Optimize. Skill point positive. Slaughtering memory teams. Even after all that doom posting saying she's me, which I blah, 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 blah. Who said she's me, guys? Who said she's me? Who said she's me? Name me one guy that said she's me. And there it is. And there it is. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Oh, leakers? Oh, unfortunately, don't watch leakers, so it ain't what they do, right? One of them to be more OB, that's absolutely insane. I kinda can't. Okay, I have no idea how to use Reddit, right? Yeah, that's more insane. Do boys because the beta was a mess. Okay, chat, are we sure we can do this? So what if they see some like, you know, leakers kind of thing? Legitimately doom posting her as the free unit to bait to pull for casters. Oh my god. Saber? Oh, Saber will be tier 0 if they know how to raid properly. Oh, Prydwen. Oh, nah, this one's warned the constant amount of the doomed her performance. What on AS Mayor slightly worse pro down. I mean, it's just the wrong mode at the current point time, anyways. Mainly AoE, Changelog. Tribby is so. Yep, we've talked about this. Absolutely, very, very nice. Okay. The last paragraph. In a Tribby-less world, my Evernight it getting out damaged by fat fuck. Please help me. That is crazy. That is to be fair, edit. Okay, you know what? You know what? Oh, the state of the game. The state of the game. Okay, honestly, this doesn't even look that much of a war. Bro, I give this a solid 1.5 out of 10 war. It's like, it's mild as it gets. Alright, bloopers, slap it, done.
With that, we've come to the end of today's content. Let me know what you guys in the comments. Smash and subscribe and like and share with all your friends. Whatever the day is going to be. And we're just right? Join Patreon for all any guys. Use code GAMESTOP. We'll see you guys next time. Oh my.